Welcome to Hot Topic with Dominick, Izzo, and Copville. Happy Wednesday.
You're first. It's Mike from Copville, and
No.
you really need to learn how to.
No, it's. I don't look at it like that. It's us.
Oh, you're getting fucked over.
No, I don't think I am.
Not by me.
No, and you're first on the intro. You're the man. You're it. Like it's like you lean on the bigger talent. I mean, you have a bigger following.
You're bigger than I am, though. So it's okay.
No, you're an asshole. That's just people dislike you more, so more people follow you. So, all right, let's get some comments right out of the rip. Dylan, appreciate you tuning in. We got Cop has intel bled. I say 10-1 odds. Com staff is trying to get him permanent disability status and free college. Probably a hero. He's talking about the guy probably at the GoFundMe and the injuries.
Oh,
we're going to try to go after good internal bleeding.
Bruising is literally what internal bleeding is. Literally.
It's on time. Actually, Efren, it was accidentally on time. I wasn't supposed to hit the intro, and I did. So here we go. Izzo is him. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, gentlemen. What's up, Jerry Worms?
Jerry Worms.
You called in the other night, right?
I was kind of like, oh my gosh, Jerry Worms.
That's what he said. Yeah.
And 1,000 people watching live, and not one who opposed me called in. In the comment section. Oh my God.
They're scared of you. All right, so we'll get right to the thumbnail. I'm going to put up after you saw the updated video, this was your response to that, which was saw the footage, still not justified. Can't walk in front of a vehicle and expect a little projectile round is going to immediately stop the 4,000-pound vehicle from moving. Might as well just issue firefighter squirt guns to deal with structure fires. I get it. You are glad she's dead because she fuck around and found out. Enjoying your group circle jerk as you all. I didn't get this far. As you all not waiting for the next media story. Okay, so that was your take on the updated footage.
Right.
I personally, let me pull you back up because I lost you. There we go. Remove. I understand what you're saying. And I when we talked the first time, I agreed with you about getting out of the way with two hands, pushing off the vehicle is much more effective than pulling your gun out and shooting. I agree with you all day. The only thing it changed for me was I don't believe he put himself in officer-induced jeopardy. So, having said that, I argue that is his reaction wrong to say this is my reaction to somebody trying to hit me. I know it's not going to stop them. I know it's not going to stop the vehicle momentum, but essentially in his mind, if he says she's trying to kill me, is it wrong for him to fire his gun?
I'll lose the argument right now, and then we'll base on their one. He's going to be protected.
Okay.
And this is why. And this is why things need to change. So what are some of the cases that we have to look at? I wanted to pull up one. Somebody cited a ton of shit I disagree with. That Tennessee versus Garner, Graham v. Connor, Barnes versus Felix, all this. The only thing that matters, and a lot of people who are opposed from this shooting, including me, have to accept this. The totality of the circumstances, which is Graham v. Connor, doesn't apply yet. The 3-second window is all that matters. The guy could have gone up and been saying, hey, listen, we're selling Girl Scout cookies for ice this weekend, and we'd like to know if you want our whatever the peanut butter ones are always called. And
yeah, they're good. Yeah.
And
sandwich one.
Great. Oh, those are okay. They'll get the dialogue going. Everything could have been awesome, copacetic, awesome. The second that turns the wheel, puts in car, and goes forward, that's it. This could have been a 2-hour interaction. That 3-second window right now is the only thing that is being judged for deadly force. On paper, vehicle, accelerated forward, officer in path. That's it. That is the strip everything way down. He's going to be cleared on it. The totality of the circumstances, because I had people using Tennessee versus Garner, which kind of blew me away. And Tennessee versus Garner, and at least in Illinois, I don't know how it is in other states. It's no longer the standard for use of force. It was before Graham v. Connor, and I can't remember what it was. So was it two cops were chasing somebody, some black young guy. Wouldn't he flee from a robbery? Jumped over.
Well, no, I think he was having a diabetic incident, and he came running out of the store, and they thought it was a robbery.
No, I see Graham v. Connor, Tennessee versus Garner.
My wife's right there. Should let her yell at me.
Yeah,
One of those.
Tennessee versus Gardner was a fleeing.
Oh yeah, in the back. Shot him in the back. Yeah. My bad.
Then that got changed with Graham v. Connor. Well, if we start there at Tennessee versus Gardner, it's a forcible felony is what you could shoot for. So why are cops shooting people in the back? You can shoot someone running away if you can articulate that they're a threat to people from moving forward.
Yeah.
So in the what was it? Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. Cop is in an open field and he stops that younger black kid or black guy.
Horrible shooting.
If that black guy had a gun on him and fired at the officer and then turned and ran, right? Considering the fact it was a giant open field and there was nobody around, you can't really argue, well, the officer could shoot him because he's running away because there's no one that he's posing an immediate threat to after that. So for the audience, I hope that makes sense. In this, people are saying Tennessee versus Gardner applies because she and this is why this ping pongs all over the place. She was in a 4,000-pound impact weapon and she posed a threat to the officers and someone else. Well, if that's the case, you have to prove intent. You have to show that she's in the car going, hey, I'm going to run you fuckers over, which wasn't the case. Graham v. Connor, still, what do we have? The three tenets. You have the severity of the crime, the oh God, now that you let me know Joe's watching, I'm all feeling like flustered and pressured. Get my shit.
No, she's not. I can hear her doing something else. So she's
you
right
got
out there though.
Severity versus the crime, or severity of the crime, the force the subject was using that poses a threat to either the officer or anybody else around, and then the level of resistance or flight that person is exuding. So number one, it doesn't matter. The first contact, that's not the crime you're considering in Graham v. Connor. Let's just say she's got a warrant. That's not the crime you're considering Graham v. Connor. The crime is the action of running him over. So there, well, if you prove intent, which again, Graham v. Connor, intent doesn't apply at all, which for some of you out there who you're dying on this hill, I'm going to set up why this sucks in a minute. So it's just a vehicle moving forward at an officer. That's the crime. So in Graham v. Connor, it's covered. The level of resistance fleeing, well, a car driving over somebody to flee is pretty fucking big. But the problem is that's intent, but don't have to prove intent. Barnes versus Felix, which is coming out or is out now, is now, believe it or not, is a good thing for cops if you actually like the law, because now it says, okay, well, what's the totality of the circumstances?
What happened in those seconds leading up to it?
Dude, that's going to fuck up a lot of things for this. So number one, what did they contact for her? Then you start opening up the door. Well, I looked, and this is where people are just so pissed off lately at me, because why did ICE attempt to detain her? I said, now maybe I'm wrong, and I'll let you correct me. By definition, someone's in a car, the car is on a roadway, which is where it was, and you approach them out of your vehicle. Let's just say you're doing a foot detail, and you have somebody, you wave down and go, hey, is that a traffic stop?
If you tell them to stop, it is.
Okay, so
you're detaining him. Yeah,
that's people kept screaming in my comment section 2-3 days ago. She was blocking the roadway. She was blocking the roadway. That is a state charge. ICE does not have any authority over that whatsoever. They had no right to detain her. If they based it off that, bad stop, illegal seizure.
I think you're going bigger, and this is where I think it goes, is impeding a federal officer.
Now,
because she's blocking the road. And what I believe led up to it was and this is a whole can of worms we talked about on Antihero, because it goes into like what Sean Reyes does and these guys that approach cops. We can't have society, if we had cops being followed all times, obviously that beats the system of law enforcement. How can we have cops being followed from the second they leave the station to here? But in this case, it seems like they were agitators. They were following ICE around, hindering their investigation. I'm speculating, but this is kind of what's coming out, is they were in a caravan constantly following the feds and then blocking them or interfering in what is them enforcing the federal law.
No one has been able to answer that. I asked.
I know, and I'm sure.
What is the impediment? What's the impediment?
Well, I mean, you're trying to act. Blocking to me, I guess when you go to that, it would be blocking the road.
Well, no.
ICE is trying to get.
No, I'm not. This is your report. You're submitting this report, right? So this is not, you can't, because everyone wants to go.
Well, I don't have enough to say I don't want to be misquoted that what happened. If I'm going based on what is being kind of talked about, I would say she's gone to the level of impeding an investigation by blocking the road. She's going down, she's following the caravan, and now she's blocking their vehicles. You can see her like wave the one around, the one vehicle goes around. she's in the road. So state-wise, yes, our state level stuff, this doesn't, that can't happen in the state.
No, number one, if the real police were there, she wouldn't have been dead. I have a big problem with this because they could have sat there coordinated with ICE. I don't know how it was with you, but the federal government never told us anything when they did anything in our town. So if they said, hey, we're going to be at 123 Main Street today, we need 4 squads, block off these 2 routes, and then let us do our job, keep your protesters at bay, you would have been fine. The woman would have been alive today. The impediment, the impeding, the obstruction, which for federal terms, everybody's like, it's obstruction, you dumbasses. It's the same thing with disorderly conduct. All I need to be able to do is articulate something. Oh, you're yelling, there's a kid around, get somebody to sign a complaint. You're going in cuffs. The whole thing when it comes to this is, what was the obstruction? Because right now I haven't heard from ICE. We were in the middle of going to detain someone. We were in the middle of an investigation that was going to lead us to this. She obstructed us from going to this home. There is, for all we know, they could have been going for coffee or piss break. We do not know what she was obstructing. So the only thing I want to say is that when it comes to Barnes v. Felix, if that's going to include everything, bad shoot, sans the fact that if we limit it to where it's the 3 seconds that Graham v. Connors covers, then he's covered. He's completely covered. It's a shitty stop and shot.
Yeah, and I think we have to get that has to come out as far as what led up to that. But where I'm going is, and you mentioned the local police, here's the fucking problem. You have a city that has told their cops not to help ICE and told their citizens not to help, or that they don't have to listen to the federal government. So I don't know if you saw the chief of Chicago come out the other day and say, ICE's cops, they're brothers in blue, like our favorite word. We're not going to impede the federal investigation. We're going to assist them if they call for help. That was a pretty big step by a black Chicago police chief to say we're going to help.
Passing the buck. I don't want any liability or responsibility.
Yes, but now you have, and then you have this whole society of these purple hair freaks that have been told over and over by politicians they don't have to listen to police. They don't have to, the whole George Floyd happened in that city. They were told, don't listen to police. Now you have ICE there and they're told, we're not going to cooperate with ICE. So you're right. Tyler makes the same argument that the federal police, the feds have no idea what they're doing on a regular street call. They can't handle domestic. They don't have any clue about a traffic law, what to do. They're trained for a specific thing. But in this particular city, the local police are told not to cooperate with ICE.
Yeah, that's
so had they have been there, maybe you're right. Maybe it ends up being like, hey guys, let's do something a little different. We have some tactical advantages that we're aware of because we train it, but they're told not to get involved.
I never understood that. How do you not want the people who deal with the people every single day making things? You want to talk about de-escalation? Here's the easiest way to de-escalate all these ICE interactions is you have the municipal police who knows these towns standing by and actually assisting. Crowd control, traffic control, and even I posted, I literally today, like from 5 a.m. on, was looking at these ICE videos. And I think some of them are literally staged. And I'm like, damn, this is not good. But the ones that are not, I cannot believe who are these guys? I don't think any of them are cops or have been cops. Their tactics are unbelievably
Well, I am personal friends with Keith Pearson, who is now one of the civilian director of immigration. You had 4 years of Joe Biden hiring his type of agents, and they were restricted. They weren't allowed to do anything. They were told, don't do anything. We're going to just let the door open. Then you have Trump come in and say, we're closing the door and we're going all out war. So I guess some of that is a little bit reckless on this administration's part, that you just put 4-year guys out there, have no experience. Now they're out there in the middle of cities interacting with people. So yes, that's definitely a problem that I believe was the last administration's failure to enforce the federal law, hiring people that sat around for 4 years and just went, no, we're letting everybody in. We're not going to enforce anything. Now somebody comes in and goes, rah, rah, let's go, make America great again. And we send them all out to do this. And I think you're seeing the result of 2 administrations coming together as one, and now there's problems out on the street. But we have a question. Let's get to this one. Can I ask a question from a civilian perspective? Wouldn't it be reasonable for any law enforcement, state, federal, city, to think blocking or boxing vehicles in can be considered an ambush situation?
You can stretch anything. Coming right for us. Yeah, it's all how you articulate. And I want to close a point because I'm glad she brought that up. If people are going to sit there and die on the hill that this shooting was good, right, and you base it off of that 3 seconds, I don't care. Well, I do care for a second. Okay, you do not have to prove intent, right? So you don't have to prove her intent. You just have to say the officer was in harm's way. Well, he placed himself. That doesn't make a difference at this point. If you're going to die on this, he was in the direct path. There was a weapon involved, and there was a person that was using the weapon. So the goal of deadly force is to terminate life-threatening behavior. As shitty as it was, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. He successfully terminated life-threatening behavior. Now, all things being equal, literally, kids who are playing at home, you need to take Johnny, and Johnny's your kid brother, and Johnny's 13 years old, and Johnny's retarded, mentally retarded, and he's got the biggest learning disability in the world. He loves to look at birds all day, drool all over himself, and feverishly masturbate nonstop. And he's not a threat to anybody. While ICE is on your street or any cop in the world, John, you could have removed this woman, right? And she says, okay, I'm coming out of the car. I will talk. She leaves the door open. Your little kid brother, Johnny, decides to go into the vehicle and honk the horn, and it's fun. And he decides to put the car in gear. No intent, doesn't know what he's doing. 100% lawful shooting. Dear old grandma who's got Alzheimer's is wandering the street. She says, oh, look, here's a gun I find on. One of the ICE agent must have dropped it. Goes to pick it up and looks at an officer and says, is this yours? 100% lawful shooting.
I agree. But in this case, this is where I look, and I'm gonna bring this one up. You can't block the roadway, not letting ICE agents leave from their location and their continued investigation. In this case, and you're right, because that's going to go down to what a reasonable person believed little Johnny was in danger, or grandma was in danger. It's a 4,000-pound vehicle. You're right. It's going to be justified. But in this case, I look at it like she also was being egged on by her, whatever that thing was, her husband, girlfriend, he, she, and her senses were heightened. Could she have not been shot, sped away, and little Johnny's walking out the front door to pick his boogers and look at squirrels, and he gets run over by her? That could have happened too.
Or she does get shot, and then she goes running into fucking Johnny. Man. Bad day for you.
Either way, she was going to speed away. One was controlled maybe, and she might have, here's the thing, she might have been more reckless if we had a woman driving not dead. So there's that factor.
All things being equal, if the shooting was good, great. Oh, Vincent Fusca, do me a favor.
He didn't like you?
Find your sister and go ahead and taste my load out of her box.
Oh God.
Fucking troll. It's not full of shit. All things being equal, because I'm defending the shoot, if that's the case, then everybody like Vincent Fusca out there, that's not his real name. That was the guy who was a Trump supporter that everyone thought was JFK Jr. Oh, look, he's back. You don't even have the balls to use your real name. God.
You can't debate. I agree with you there. I can't debate a fake name.
No, Izzo won't debate. Fucking call in anytime I'm live. It's the intent. Everyone in their mother's going, well, she intended to drive into him. I don't know how many times that a normal person has to say, you get in a car, if your wheels are turned this way, you're doing this to turn, and at one point your hands are going to stop to go and rotate. There was no intent whatsoever to purposely strike that officer. It was fight or flight, and she that's where I look at it. Like, also though, if you're going to make a reckless, here's where it comes. Why would we're not debating? Vincent, we'll debate you anytime.
Yeah, call in. We'll put your light on right on live. You give me an email address, I'll send you the link. You can come right in here. Let me know when you're ready. The problem is
his real face.
No, he won't do that.
You can call my cell. I'll put it through. I don't care. 708-982-0974.
But you don't really. So there's also implied intent. Is also doesn't have you taking the vehicle, mashing the gas, like going outside right now, closing your eyes and going, mash the gas. I'm going to end up where I end up. I don't want to hurt anybody, but today I want to drive my eyes closed. To me, that's the same thing. Your intent doesn't have to be.
No, it fits the flight, right? Because that last part of Graham v. Connor is the level of resistance to fight or flee.
When she decides to flee, she's responsible for what happens after, including getting shot. That's my stance on it. And when she hits the gas, I don't want citizens to get murdered by cops. Don't ever think I'm trying to say that.
I think this idiot also, you get drugged by a car for 200 yards 6 months prior, and then he 100% 100% purposely placed himself in front of the vehicle.
I disagree. I look at him getting out. He walked in front of the car. I'll give you that. But it looks fluid as I know he's walking around video, and I don't understand that tactic either. And you're in a critical situation. I will give you that one. In a critical situation where you think there's a potential to go hands-on, why do you have your cell phone out recording? That didn't make sense to me. That didn't make sense to me. I'll give you that one.
What's the phrase that is used for it's 2 words, OR, when it comes down to Graham v. Connor? Objectively reasonableness.
Yes, objectively. Yes.
And that's through an objectively reasonable officer. So this is the conundrum. Every officer would say, well, it's even though projectile round isn't going to stop all this stuff, it's objectively reasonable that he shot. But I love how every cop out there is going, well, I wouldn't place myself in front of the car, but the shoot is good. It's the same thing as saying, well, I know you got raped and that's bad, but what were you wearing?
Yeah, no, I get it. And walking in front of a car is never a good idea. In a high tense, rapidly evolving, what do we call it? Rapidly evolving, high tense situation. Whatever. I used that one in my IA. It didn't work. I fucking failed. But I tried it. But it didn't work. But yes, walking in front of a car every time, but intentionally putting yourself in front of the car to go what we see, and then bang, bang, bang. That he is, again, I don't understand the tactic walking around the car video.
He would be protected in that.
Yeah, I think that's getting ready to go away. I don't think we're there anymore. I don't think we're there anymore.
That's the whole Barnes v. Felix. It is now the totality of the circumstances. Okay.
Yeah. Why did you end up there?
And everybody too. I can't believe how stupid people are who they're so, ICE is going to be used and they have federal immunity now. So you're good with ICE violating people's civil rights just because they can say you obstructed my investigation. That's a blanket statement. Like obstruction is the easy. Literally, you can come up and film me, and I can articulate. You're in my field of vision, and I've got this guy to manage, that guy to manage. You are impeding my investigation. You're going to go into handcuffs.
I'm going to bring up something. You just sparked my memory. We're talking about this shooting, right? And I'm gonna send this in. I want to pull this up because I don't think people understand this. This is pretty deep. Hold on. How much money ICE is spending on? How much money ICE is spending on surveillance and what they're doing. So I'm going to send in this article here. This is going to blow people's mind. I don't think anybody, when we start talking about billions with a B, it's
I like Victor 065 says
I wasn't going to read it.
Oh, you weren't going to read it?
Somebody different.
Victor,
no. I'm talking about the other guy. Go ahead.
Victor 065 says the tactics were not great. Crossfire, unstable, snow and ice creating difficult terrain to move quickly. He may have realized that and influenced his decision. Those things, but here's the problem. And this is why people don't get how shitty this is. None of that matters in that 3-second window. Well, the ice was slippery. Yeah, but A plus B has to equal C. Was there a threat? Was it dangerous? Did it pose a threat on him? Yeah, it did. Shooting is good.
Yeah. Shooting
is good. And it sucks. A problem I have is for every bootlicker, every window licker, every Vincent Fusca out there, everyone. Well, she had intent to run him over. Dumbasses, you ruin how the law will protect cops.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think we said this. I got a great video too. I think we said this last week is this the one we want is he going to want his grandkids to watch this shooting as like granddaddy was in a shooting? This is the one I'd want to be involved in.
If this family sues like him civilly, dude, I wish to God I had my law license. I'd be going, hey, officer, can we talk about the trauma that you suffered from being drugged on a car? Do you think you're ready to return to the field? Officer, the internet says you're a devout Christian. How do you feel about LGBTQ people? Because doesn't that go against your faith? And here you dealt with a religious couple. Officer, if you had known before that you had been placed in front of a vehicle and you suffered trauma, did you then have a ploy or a need or some kind of internal angst to where you weren't going to let these lesbian dykes dictate your life? So you were going to show them?
Or would you want to, why did you, if you're drugged before, would the last place you'd want to be back in front of a car? So let's transition to the budget. So I'm going to add this to the stage. Here's a little article that I stumbled across. and it says U.S. Immigration and Customs has a new budget under the current administration. They are going to on a surveillance tech shopping spree, spending $28.7 billion for the year 2025, triple their 2024 budget, and another $56.25 billion, billion with a B, over the next 3 years.
For what?
So what they're doing is they're buying, remember the Patriot Act, right, which allowed the government to do anything they wanted. They are using, I don't want to say the company's name because my buddy works for them, but they're using a company and they're basically tracking every cell phone within cities, location.
And you're going to get these conservative blue line sports. That's right.
Yeah. So they are using technology that we don't know about, without a wiretap, without a subpoena, without a search warrant. And they're spending billion with a B, $25 billion this year to track people. Now, here, let me give you my easy answer. They're not citizens. We can do whatever they want to them. We can track their phones.
No, I agree with you on that. I don't think.
Do you think they're tracking our phones too?
That's the problem. I am for the with prejudice, extreme removal of illegal immigrants. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's how. That's a dilemma that I'm not smart enough to wind up. Yes. Pursuing a law license, because then I'm going to start prosecuting these fucking shithead cops.
I'll be your expert witness. I would love to see me and you in court together. That'd be great.
When in history has power ever been relinquished? So here's the power of limited, is the party of limited government, they're like, fuck yeah, man, we need to have more of these towel head, wetback fucking border jumpers out there, and we need to use that cell phone footage on, triangulate them like Batman did. And it's like, oh my God, you don't think they're going to use it on you?
$25 billion just this year on technology.
$25 billion, and Grady Judd can't get a grant to put body cameras on.
Yeah, and you see what they're doing. You see what Flock's going on. Flock, that whole system's going in the ringer, because now Flock is being used and their data is being leaked. So now all the tags and information, locations of vehicles are being leaked to civilians. So they lost that battle.
See, I'm fine with that, because as far as I'm concerned too, driving is not a right, it's a privilege. So everybody who's like, well, fuck, man, it's bad.
But the data is getting out leaked. So it's getting out of law enforcement hands into civilian hands, which I think is what the problem is. And
I don't have basically it's public. You want to know.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're not, the tag belongs to the government, and they can watch where their tag goes at all times. But now they're using it on cell phones, and it's a slippery slope, man. It's a slippery slope.
The danger,
the
danger they're supporting in this.
Yeah.
Fine, I get it. We spent years under a Biden admin where everyone out there was just they're made to eat the shit sandwich, and now it's payback. You cannot glorify the death of a woman. I don't care how much somebody shit on your hero, Charlie Kirk, and oh my God, yeah, I see your shirt, it's great. But it's like, what happened was horrible, fucking horrible. And you have to look at, this is another thing too. It goes into what I said about deadly force and 30 by 30. I don't know what this guy's background was, but if it's good for him, and now you're having people like Grady Judd endorses at the end of his video, he pretty much said it's open season to shoot through cars. Okay, now you're giving the worst of the worst out there who slipped through the cracks, and that's a big fucking crack, who all have badges and guns, to use deadly force on you. And you think that just because you swiped or shared a meme and you're a Trump supporter, that these dumb fucks are going to be able to identify you as, no, brother, I'm pro ICE, man. They don't give a fuck. They're going to crack your head open like everyone else. I got my MAGA hat on.
Yeah, I guess it opens. Here's the other thing it shows me is how desensitized we are as a society. It's just it's not a human life that was lost. It's just another argument.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the core, nobody cares. And I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to stand on a high horse like I'm better than anybody else. But we kind of go, fuck her. Like, right, fuck it. It's some bitch that doesn't align with our. But you made a good point. Charlie Clerk doesn't align with a lot of other people's values. So I did it. I defended the shit out of him.
Everyone uses when they have a shooter, right? They go through his Facebook page or whatever, and they look at all the stuff that he's supporting. Okay, So doesn't it blow you away that anytime, if this woman lived and she was taken to court and prosecuted, they would be just looking at her social media, looking at her tent. They would prove this is why the system is unfair and why cops have an insane amount of protection. They're going to put her on the stand and use her past history. Fuck ICE. I'm an agitator. I'm a watch list to show intent to try to prove that she was going to run him over.
And you're supposed to remove that. You're supposed to remove that from.
Oh,
you're right. Like what she said in the past, unless it's like terroristic, like a bomb that goes off. You're right. I can say, because, I've said, let's say I say, fuck the Democrats, but now if I end up killing a Democrat tomorrow, you're going to go back and pull every time I said he set out today to go kill a Democrat. Well, I didn't, but I happened to.
We're now looking you're never looking at the cop's history. Hey, officer, how much did you drink that weekend? Officer, what's your views? What kind of porn do you watch? Nobody ever, Diamond Jackson, baby, I'm still waiting for your call. No one ever sits there and looks at what a cop does. All they do is go, well, objectively reasonable standard through the eyes of other officers and blah, blah, and this cop was justified. This cop could have. He could have sat there at home and been feverishly masturbating over the fact that his wife is a legal immigrant, and now he's pissed at all these other immigrants who are coming in illegally. We know the one thing I'll give him is we know the frustration of these fucking people. They are probably working 17, 18-hour days nonstop. They probably don't get to shower in that shitty, sweaty garb all day long. Tons of equipment in cars that those cars are not conducive to what they're doing. Getting screamed at. They're tired of these people. You heard him at the end. He's such a loving Christian man. Well, he shoots her. What's the first thing he says? Fucking bitch. So,
did he say?
Yeah. You hear him as he shoots and she drives away.
That's kind of reaction.
I understand that. Or is it? But does that not? But you can never say because it's just a reaction. Okay, if it's just a reaction, then her knee jerk hitting the gas, driving away, was trying to get away from the guy, and it was just a reaction. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, I think words in that case are less than physical actions, and I still go back to. Part of my problem with all of this and where I lean on the ICE side is they've been told, these left-wing fucking agitators have been told too long by their own government, like Tim Walz and all these people, you don't have to listen. You don't have to listen. You don't have to. Now, I get you're very big about the Constitution. Lawfully, you don't have to listen to lawful, or you have to listen to lawful orders. They're basically telling them they don't have to listen to anything. And that's gone over and over. So just like you're saying about the cop's mindset, whatever porn he watches, he made a predetermined thing. They're being told, fuck it. I'm sure she said, I'll run them motherfuckers over if I ever run into one of them. I'm sure it's been talked about. So it kind of goes both ways that they're being told, but they're being told that by other government entities and city officials and mayors and police chiefs in Portland are crying on the fucking TV. They're telling their citizens, you don't have to listen. We're not going to help them. That is also as dangerous as what the argument making against the yeah, it should be a crime. It's treason. In my opinion, it's treason. If you suggest to not listen to the federal government lawfully, it's treason.
You should prosecute. The family should sue the mayor or anybody else who says that kind of stuff, but it will never happen because they're always covered by saying you can't directly connect the person who commit this crime to that. So like if Joe Biden spent 4 years in office and was inflaming Trump and how much he hated, and this guy's a Nazi, and then some guy goes out to take a shot at him at a rally, well, you can't say I was influenced by Joe Biden and go after Joe Biden because you can't prove. There's no nexus that is there. So it is a shitty circumstance.
Yeah, but and our country's fall. This is causing the fall of our. We're watching it fall right in front of us. And I know you're very adamant on one side, and people take shots at you. But I think the most important thing is the conversation that you bring. Even if they don't agree with what you're saying, it's generating conversation to get. It shows the big disparity we have in.
Have you read some of the
charity work, Dom? No,
have you imagine YouTube? YouTube commenters are fucking awesome. You guys are intelligent.
I know you don't do well on Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram, you are some of the biggest fucking retards I have ever. I could put something up. Joe, fucking this guy's a clown. That's your argument. I literally posted yesterday a screenshot from 2013. I didn't post anything other than this. PERF, Police Executive Research Forum, which I can't stand, right? They're the ones that want to change the objectively reasonable standard to proportionality, meaning that, objectively reasonable through the eyes of a police officer to proportionality through the eyes of a citizen. I've been fighting this since 2015. So I take a screenshot and PERF's recommendations, it says recommendations in big bold letters for federal agents not to shoot through cars. This and that. I posted up online, the dummies. Dude, it's a recommendation. Air is breathable. Water is wet. I have some of the stupidest, most unintelligent people following me on Facebook commenting.
Yeah. I mean, you get pretty hammered on there. But I like, again, what led us to where we even are right now was the ability to have dialogue, and it wasn't a fucking screaming or insult match. And I know you'll dialogue anybody. I've watched you have complete racist black people on your show that hated your guts that you've dialogued with, and you have a normal conversation. And that's where I think we miss it, is the pop shots and the one-liners and the slick comment or the fake names that really doesn't do us any good. Us talking about this, even if we're both completely wrong, we're both the most wrong two people on earth. The fact that we're sitting here dialoguing it and it gets other people involved to listen and watch and maybe correct us or bring another view or maybe an eye-opening moment or that's the most important thing, is to talk about it.
I'm not going to listen to anybody though who has a fake name, private profile, who openly attacks. I had some turd who sat there and commented how I won't go on anybody else's other podcast who isn't another fired cop whose sexual deviancy likes to be peed on and whatnot. And I sat there and said, and it was a very sweet burn, but you can't. How can you, anybody who's a cop, and they all do the same thing. Well, I have a private profile because I can't have people know where my family is. Then you're a fucking pussy. Be a man. Unless you are willing to expose yourself and have public scrutiny out there to have people criticize you as heavily as they criticize us, your opinion means nothing to me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And that snowballs right into our TikTok cop and our issue with cops within the agency. They're going to walk around for 20 years, taking it in the ass, not saying a word, looking at you and I going, hey man, say this, say this, say this. No, dude, until all of you do what we did and you start doing it while you're still there and you start speaking out, hey, you may have to lose your job. You may have to you may have to do something. All the great moments in history involve what? Some type of heroic act of losing their life, doing something wild. But to sit around and just complain about things like these people in the comments do, and then the pop shots and attacks and then cops, and you have to speak up about it. You have to grab your dick. You have to get up, get your face out there. Nobody respects anybody shouting from the dark or from a fake profile. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work in society, and it's not going to work. It doesn't work.
I love how everybody sits there and says, well, Izzo, you think you're more than you are. No, I'm just willing to do something you're not, which is actually be public. And if it's so easy for any one of you who is active, who's in my comment section, who says, I don't know what I'm talking about, open your shit up, be online, be public, comment, put it out there. You could end me tomorrow by being more right than me and better at me. Your just delivery sucks and you're a pussy because you're too afraid to be judged.
I think the biggest thing is afraid, and it's
God.
Yeah, it just, people won't, nothing got done from a fake profile or a fake, you can't go to Congress as a fake congressperson and cover your face and, hey, I won an election, I'm here to talk. It has to be done in a public forum. And you and I have disagreed on many, many things, but this is how we've settled it. This is how we've come to an agreement. This is how we've talked about it. This is how it's generated the reels we've had. One of the most viral reels we had was you talking about, and Tyler piped it up just right, that it took, you're basically saying that shoot all cops that enter your house. That one went fucking wild. But what you were saying was kind of on the same lines of this. You have a different take on it. You have a different view of it.
Doesn't it blow you away that it's cops? Here's cops, right? Who have to take the totality of the circumstances, collect all the evidence, write a report. But when it comes to your opinion, you don't want to take all the evidence, collect all of it.
I heard those 4 words out of Dom's mouth. He's liar. He's a fucking piece of shit. And I get it all the time. Your boy Dom, your boy Dom, your boy. I'm like, go tell him. Go tell him. Yeah, I just say, hey, man, he'll love to hear from you. I said, he'll love to hear from you. Go debate him. He will absolutely talk to you. He'll have you
No
call
one
in.
ever does. And I tell you, the people who do call in and disagree with me, their arguments, how they do it, and it's on YouTube. The YouTube audience is the main one that calls and disagrees with me. They are some of the most well-spoken, well-educated arguments, and I'm like, I will listen to this, and it's great. It is the commenters who I have had a 382% increase in my social media engagement on one site alone, Facebook, in the last 48 hours. And it's up to like 500 some odd thousand. He had said it was a bad but lawful shootout. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
The other guy keeps ramping that you changed your stance, and anybody who follows you knows you didn't change your stance. You still stand by it. Yeah, I'm smart enough to understand.
Chuck Wood, I've seen your comments, and you have backed me, and I appreciate that, Chuck. You can. Well, my sister's engaged, so you can't hear. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. We don't want the totality of the circumstances when it comes to that stuff. Oh, Brad, thank you. Love listening to me. I don't like listening to me.
But here, let me ask you this question, John. And I know the answer already. Why do you do this?
I love police officers, believe it or not. And people, they think I hate them. And like, I have such a swell of pride seeing somebody who's young in a uniform, knowing that my thought is this: my father's 75 and the motherfucker is going to live to be 100. He's got the genetics for it. And one day something's going to happen where he calls 911. He could have forgotten his glasses when he's in his 90s, right? And he's got to call 911, and a cop is going to show up, and they're in a position to help my father. And, or God forbid, dad is all, dementia, and he does find one of my firearms and he goes on a shooting spree because he can't find his goddamn oatmeal, right? Whatever. And there's going to be a lawful shoot that's involved. I want that person who shows up to have the highest level of integrity and love for this job. So it just blows me away that there's people out there who don't take that this seriously. I was asked today by Carl Anderson, we did a podcast, and he said, what makes a good cop? And it's simply this. When I first got hired, I gave the answer like to everybody else that I would have given in my interview. Well, I want to help the community and I want to put the bad guys in jail. Anytime someone asks me, hey, Izzo, I got an interview and blah, blah, I ask them, why do you want to be a cop in the first place? And it's the same thing. I want to help the community, this and that. And I go, hey, let me help you cheat for the interview. And I hope you hear my answer and then use it. I want to become a police officer because it is the single greatest profession on the planet that affords me the opportunity to be the highest, best version of myself. Can you imagine if you had integrity? Your boots are always shined. Your uniform is always tailored and ironed and pressed. Your fitness is always on par. You know the law. You love the Constitution. When you train and you hold yourself to that highest level, the barking dog call, the citizen complaint, the old lady who doesn't know why her mailbox got knocked over in the middle of the night, your servicing that call becomes the highest, which is 90% of police work. Your service becomes the absolute best. I'll throw you under the bus on this one. There's a video of Mike online dealing with someone for criminal trespass to property. I have watched that video so many fucking times. It is professional. You don't get that way dealing with the public unless you care about the job. So that's what I think people need to fall back on. And I want cops returning to that. And again, people keep saying, we got to pay him more. You got to do this. You got to do that more. I use the analogy of, he asked me, he said, well, if a police department hired me for a chief position tomorrow, how would I change things? And it's changing the culture. Andy Frisella, who runs First Form, when I went to go to First Form to look at that place, they don't have a cleaning staff. Their employees vacuum everything. During their breaks, they clean up the windows there. They're taking care of everything. They've got 2 gyms there. And one of their gyms, they have the weight trees where you put on the 10-pound weights, 45-pound weights, and they have First Form. The gym is of the highest equipment, cleanest gym, best equipment I've ever seen, but it's all kept and maintained by the staff. I was told, DJ goes, when you take a 15 or 25-pound plate off, it has to go back on the 25-pound plate or rack perfectly and then aligned. So it's First Form at 10 and 2. Anything, if you don't do that, if it's askew, that's grounds for termination. So wait a second. You mean you have a sales staff, a nutritional company that they may not pay the greatest on the planet, but they have created a culture that has men and women showing up today or every day going, I want to be a part of this and keeping everything perfect and pristine. How are we not doing that in law enforcement? You can't get cops to go to training. They sign off once a year on department training, all this shit. You need to have a culture in-house that takes care of your cops that says, all right, maybe I make 65 grand a year and it's piss, but I want to be fit. I want to know the law. I want to look good. I want to go serve my community. I want to be part of this culture.
Well, I would suspect my first reason that it doesn't happen in law enforcement, I would suspect that Andy Frisella puts that weight back the same way as everybody else.
Hmm?
I would suspect he vacuums like everybody else. I would suspect that he does everything that everybody else does. And the only way you can create a culture that tight and that well organized is if it's done by everybody. The biggest problem in law enforcement is your Grady Judds and your Wayne Ivies and all these guys that Greg Toney puts his name all over the door. It's on every pen and pencil and everything. And the fucking guys do nothing close to the standard. And then they put guys around them that do nothing close to the standard. And then all these commands, you see it on my page every day, guns backwards, upside down, no vest, all the fat people. The job has been infiltrated by mediocrity, and then mediocrity became normal. And if you're above mediocrity, you're the abnormal in this job now. And it needs to be gutted from the top down. You're right. It would take a Dom Izzo to be the chief, as crazy as it sounds, but it would take somebody because once it's cycled, I would want to work for you. You're going to fucking talk about blowjobs and fucking all that stuff. Like, we're going to get the job done, but we're locker room talk is okay. We're going to get the job done. We're going to have some standards. Sounds good to me.
It's
like, let's do it.
Admin. It's just Andy Frisella, leadership, police, admin. There's no leadership anywhere anymore.
No. And that's, and it's gone through so many cycles. Like you see now we got dancing FTOs on TikTok that haven't done 2 years on the job. And,
and that does go all the way up to the White House. And I'm going to tell you too, that's why I'm sick of his shit is you look at how that the White House handles these things, like Kristi Noem, who goes up and immediately labels this woman a domestic terrorist who deployed her vehicle as a weapon. Are you fucking kidding me? How about talk about this insanely tragic event that changed the lives of both the officer that was involved and the citizen, the severe American citizen who lost their life. And we're looking into this, not all of a sudden use it as a political talking point. Trump and his bullshit rhetoric. It's like, I cannot believe that all this is right now is nothing more than people picking political sides and then judging it off that. Because you know what, kids, be honest. If this was a Christian conservative MAGA soccer mom who was shot in that circumstance, you would be calling for that cop's head to be fucking sawed off with a rusty blade and put on a pike.
Yeah, that's what I say when I say we lost our. That's what we lost. That is exactly. We're so far. That line is so clear in the sand right now, and they're so divided. You're right. If that was that ICE agent, that dude would be toast, man. They'd be calling for. Trump would be calling for his head.
It's
like they would, the whole government. So yeah, and to get up there and be insensitive, it's like that's when I say when both sides are somewhat guilty, we can't be so head in the sand ostriches that we think. And I'm a Republican, and I support this administration for the most part, and most of everything that goes on. That's the way I lean. But like I said, we can't celebrate. We shouldn't be celebrating any other American's death. It was tragic. It's not a good situation. It wasn't great to watch. It shouldn't have happened for many reasons. But to celebrate it is kind of like what happened with George Floyd. The whole George Floyd thing, that sucks as well. Like nobody wants anybody to die. But they do.
Juanita Broderick. Happy birthday to George Floyd. May he rot in hell. Wait a second. You're a conservative Christian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't really say you can't. That's what I'm saying. Like we got to be careful about preaching one thing and then celebrating somebody's death.
That's why.
If George Floyd was firing rounds in the middle of the road trying to kill babies, then yeah, we.
No, you can't put him on. You can't put him on blast for something he did 10 years prior. If you love the Constitution in this country, which I watched and I thought Jesse Ventura is kind of insane, but he's a very, very fucking intelligent man. And he says, we're living in a third world country. And I'm like, no, we're not. Dude, I'm watching all these ICE videos. Papers, please. Yeah. Papers, please. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me?
See, and I get there, but I get it. It got so we let it go so far one way that it almost. I don't know the answer, and as I'm going to say that up front, I don't know the answer.
Yes, we did, because we saw in 2020 when the election happened and everything. I like how all these people, we're in a civil war, man. No, you're not. Conservatives, and I put on somebody's page today who was like, this liberal woman died for her beliefs, this and that, blah, 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 and she's this and that. I'm like, yeah, but the one thing that the liberals do is they get together and protest for what they believe in. Sans January 6th, and the only reason you did it was because of Trump. I don't know about you, but I watched the lockdowns, the mandates, the vaccine, the drag show story hours where kids, where your cops did nothing and they're mandated fucking reporters for any type of sexual child abuse. They did nothing. Where were all of you, you conservative blue line supporters standing up and protesting about that? Well, they're paid. They're fucking start finding some big philanthropist conservatives and say, hey, fund us. We need to go protest. So conservatives, they are all talk. They're no action.
I will say COVID did show a wild side, because if that was flipped, you're right. If that was a Republican restriction against Democrat, and again, I'll put it party wise, it's kind of what I think it was. I think COVID was generated due to the election, Trump versus if that was flipped, the Democrats would have been all over. The streets would have been full of people. They'd have been, I mean, you could argue that a lot of them don't work. The Republicans got to go to work. There's jokes in there. There's all kinds of funny things to be said, but you're right. You've never really seen the conservative side get out in the street and go, we're not dealing with this.
Are they willing to die for what they believe in? Yeah, I got to go to work. Well, wait a second. My country is about to shit the fucking bed. And we need a day of solidarity. What conservatives do is they find their favorite blue check mark and they harumph around them, and that's it. That's why there will be no civil war, because the big problem is you're going to get all your big influencer check marks that have 1 million+ followers, and civil war comes out, and when the dust settles, who are you going to follow? Because now conservatives are taking over. You've got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And now you're all going to be fighting over each other. So they're lost. Conservatives have nothing when it comes to gathering and actually getting shit done the way that liberals do.
I'm going to throw a curveball. You think we're going to bomb Iran?
No.
What do you think's going to happen? No,
I don't. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you remember when we were kids, Ayatollah Khomeini?
Mm-hmm.
This Iran shit has been happening since the desert has sand. So it's the ice and then fucking the desert. What are they trying to hide from us right now?
Yeah, it's something going on. Because I saw a picture today. So when we invaded Venezuela, all air traffic shut down over Venezuela. Somebody posted a picture a little while ago that all air traffic, there's no planes seen flying over Iran. So they're trying to speculate that it's a wild time right now. Like there's a lot going on. I mean, we're bombing ISIS. We're bombing ISIS in Somalia. We got Iran. We got Trump Venezuela.
List, isn't he? Trump is on that Epstein list, isn't he? That's the only thing I can think of.
It's a lot going on for sure, and it's a wild time. Gives us a lot of material, but again, I think by doing our part is to get out here, get people engaged in the comments, and get people talking about it, and good or bad, it's generating some type of conversation.
Yeah, I love how everybody sits there and they're like, "Oh, you're just posting this for income, motherfucker." I don't
make anything,
dude. I no, absolutely not. I make nothing. Like Facebook has been my biggest engagement. 0. I'm in the negative income bracket. I don't make anything off of it.
I don't make anything on Facebook or Instagram. I don't make anything on Instagram either.
No, nothing.
I mean, sales is probably my only the only thing. Let me pay the bills real quick. Goon Tape. Make sure you guys check out Goon Tape. Go to goontape.com. Provides the softest no slip grip for the tools you count on most. Our premium raid tape improves felt, recoil, wicks, moisture, and covers attachment rails so you can stay on target in the fight, even when work gets wet. We are proudly American, made in America. And these guys, we talked about this. This is a great company and a great product. Works for everything. So, all right, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I do it to you all the time.
Taking the glasses off.
Yeah, I had to read something.
Text. We got comment. Go back to the comments. Yeah, my phone is blowing up. It always happens when I get on here. Everybody forgets my schedule, which is pretty much I'm online about all the time. We're talking about money. Y'all don't make anything either. Like
No.
Instagram pays $0. YouTube very little. I didn't even catch it out yet. Sales, and then just I think, you know, I have experience. You have experience. We've experienced a lot of things in our lives, and we're not afraid to get up and put our business out like we have. So I think it's our calling here to just
I think I'm
generate
a
the
sadist.
conversation.
I think
What's
I'm a
that?
sadist. I think I'm a sadist. I love fucking like I'm only happy when I'm fucking miserable in a fucking like argument on something. I can't.
You cave sometimes though. I've seen you get at it like, all right, man, I'm not done. Like you've taken some
Oh, dude,
mental
yeah.
vacations. I remember like a couple weeks ago, you were like, man, I'm out. I'm not responding.
I got some fucking screws loose. Some Oklahoma City cop slides in my DMs. I'm on the train on the way back. And he just said something I didn't fucking like. And he goes, you know, the brother, I normally agree with you, but you know, I jumped the gun in the shooting. Fuck that bitch. She had some lead poisoning coming. And I'm like, dude, you don't know me. You know, I've joked with other people that I've worked with, like, oh, that little fucking shit would have grown up to be a prostitute. Thank God she's dead. We've said some of the most horrible stuff on the planet to people we trust for that dark humor to purge, right? So I looked at this guy, I said, man, you fuck your sister with that mouth? And we went back and forth. And his thing was immediately go, I said, you know, I called him, I said, you're a little man. And he goes, I'm 6'5" and 250 pounds, shredded. And he goes flat out, I will meet you at any MMA gym and I will beat the faggot beard off you. So I sat up for a while and I responded back with, why not? What state? And I told myself, let's fucking do it. I have got some, and of course he backed out like a pussy. Well, you know, here's you post the rest of the argument. And I said, you know, I was fully prepared. I will go anywhere you want, but here's the caveat. We have to stream it live.
Yes.
And so you're 6'5", 250, and you're an MMA fighter and fucking little 5'7", you know, 230-pound me who can kick the fuck out of you because I'm crazy. If I lose, to fight me, you have to donate $5,000 to that woman's charity. Number one, that's the caveat. Number two, if I fucking win, you have to be willing then to donate $25,000 to her charity. Those are going to be my rules and my stipulations. But of course, he backed off like a pussy. So I think that's the other problem too. Is I'm at the point where something wrong with me, where I'm like, I want to fucking fight, man. I'm looking for an old time wrestling shit, you know, where I can go compete again because I got I'm fucked up, dude.
I just need my knee fixed and then I'm back. Then I can fight because I had that. I went at it with our buddy, that Officer Reynolds, and it wasn't where you said it wasn't what Wisconsin. He's from Parachute Police
Wyoming.
Department.
Yes. No, Colorado.
Colorado.
No.
Parachute Police Department. Yeah, Parachute Police Department, Colorado. Yes. I found him. I actually emailed him at work. Wasn't hard to find. There's only 7 people. There's only 7 people that work there, including the chief.
I can't discredit that because you know what? I can't see how when people go, "You're from a little department."
Yeah,
dude. 90% of the cops.
But this guy's but he's also talking a big game because he's like, pull my use of forces, and I'm like, I can't statistically be possible in that area. Like, I looked it up, 1,600 people, and he's like, everybody. Here's where, like I said, there's more to it. Everybody knows me. Well, if everybody knows you, it can't be that many use of forces because then you know everybody in town. Like it is statistically doesn't seem realistic. And he's psycho. That Officer Reynolds guy is psycho. He has like 700,000 followers on TikTok. And
I have his ex following me, and she's a pretty
well-known. Cool when ex tell you things.
Oh, dude, she's like, I can't thank you enough for
the cup of milk guy that I went at it with. He's another one. Colorado, Boulder, all white. Like
I gotta get her to follow you. I'm gonna get her to follow you.
I had somebody reach out to me from him in his past, and I was told that there's some type of document over there in Colorado. He lied and he can't testify in court. He's got some problem out there, but it's all those guys that want to fight, want to do all this crazy stuff. And previous, yeah, he was a jailer. The dancing guy, Reynolds. He was a jailer, and then he was tough. And he was sending me pictures of him like cooking on the grill. And I'm like, dude, let's just go live. Like you're a TikTok star. Like hit the button. You're not going to get me followers. I'm like, first of all, your followers on TikTok are not real. I believe TikTok is way inflated on numbers. And it doesn't resonate to anything. And I'm like you said, TikTok's probably the lowest of communication skills, below Instagram and Facebook, if you put YouTube at the top. And this guy with everything, argument, and then, like I said, I actually sent a formal email request to his work email asking if he would come on my podcast, but I never heard back. And he's with that one you love. What's her name? The Indian reservation lady.
Oh my God. Yeah, I created a group chat with you and her.
Oh, good. So anyway, that's our hour. It's been fun. We disagreed, and we didn't kill each other.
That's the point. I had the best DM from a guy yesterday. Said, "Hey, Izzo, I'm an adjunct professor and this and that. I don't agree with you on your stuff, but you bring us a good point. I appreciate you being challenged this and that. I would like some of your time." And I'm like, "That's how you get my time, right there."
Yes,
The
yeah, I
same
agree.
way.
And I'm always open to this guy. One guy has called my bluff so far, and we sent him the link, and we went live at like midnight one night. But he was so fucking drunk that I was like, okay, I can't do much with this. But
Those two black guys you saw, that was the same thing. You won't debate me. Here's the link. I stopped everything I did. It was 2 days in a row. Let's go live. You both are fucking marble mouthed idiots.
Yep. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you, Dom. You're tomorrow night live? What time?
No, tomorrow's Thursday. Friday,
dude. Tomorrow morning I'm live. That's right. Tomorrow morning I'm live, 11 to 1.
Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. 8 p.m.
Support Anti-Hero like crazy. If you don't watch the Anti-Hero podcast, you're a liberal cuck. It's as simple as that, since you guys hate liberals. And if you don't support Mike from Coppville and share his content, you're literally like, when I spent 2 days on a train from California back to Chicago, and my asshole was so sweaty and dirty. When I got back in to use the loofah to clean it off, oh my God, the loofah was black, but I could still see the shit. That's what you are. If you don't support Coppville or Anti-Hero, you are the loofah shit off my ass after 2 days.
You got away from me as you're gone. Are you good tomorrow to come on again? We were having you on every Thursday. So tomorrow, right after noon Eastern, we'll bring you in starting the second hour. So all right, we appreciate everything. Check out Anti-Hero broadcast tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow night on Anti-Hero and Counterculture is the night shift. We appreciate everything, and we'll see you guys next week.